All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. I'll let you get logged in. We're here. It's day 3 of the 3-day video challenge. And I've got to say, nobody's watching yet. I hope that this landed in the group. Let's see. Whole live can be so much fun. So I've been so amazed by how many of you totally got over yourselves to the point where you made video. Now I can tell some of y'all are highly seasoned professionals. So high five for trying a new piece of content, because y'all, that's half the battle, right? We get into our ruts, especially in real estate, about the way we've always done things and the way that it's always worked. And we sometimes have challenges changing, but spoiler alert, we're heading into a changing market. In fact, we're already seeing some change going on. So the fact that you are sitting here ready to try some new things and make sure that this works for you and for your business, I mean, frankly, y'all, the timing could not be better for you to have joined this video challenge. So I'm super glad that y'all made these videos and have gotten them uploaded. And of course, we've had several people with some good ones. And so I know that y'all have been delightfully replying and commenting on each other's stuff in the group. And I freaking love it. That's my favorite part, because y'all know this mama hen likes to see the flock getting along. So what I want to do is figure out how to share screen so I can show you some of the ones that really, really stuck out. And we're going to start with my buddy, Chris Wright, because I just saw him a couple of weeks ago up in Albany. Hey, Chris. Let's see. How do I share screen on here? This is so complicated. I don't know if I can. Michelle and I were so hopeful that we had a plan here for sharing, and it may not work. I know how to share slides, but that might be the end of my expertise here. All right, let's see. Where is my Chris Wright video? Okay, this might not work. All right, so anyway, I don't know how to do it, but I will tell you, one of the most common questions I've been getting in private messages and all over the place is, how do I upload videos? So it reminded me that I may not have given y'all exactly as much as you need in the way of technical. So for those of y'all that are just, technical is not your thing, high five if you figured it out, if you didn't figure it out. All right. Once you make your little video on your phone and you record it, you know how to do that part. That part's easy. So when you're in Instagram, and I'll use Instagram as an example, up here at the top is the plus mark. When you click on the plus mark, you go to Reels. Now, you want to make sure your videos are in Reels for a specific reason. So let's just go to Reels, and I'll just stick any old video up in her. There's one I made yesterday. Be quiet, Leigh Brown. Nobody wants to hear you because, told y'all I don't like the sound of my voice, right? So let's click add. So you made the video and then you click add, okay? Up here, well, that would be, we'll just go on to next. You can do lots of things. You see this little post-it note looking thing with the corner turned up? That's where your cool things are. When you click on that, you can click captions, and that's where the words are. For those of y'all that were asking where the words are, that's where the words are. Now, there's a little trick here that I should have shown y'all, because even Charlie Holt, who's here on my team in my office, Charlie didn't even know this, and he loves social media. You can edit if it spells things wrong. Like if you say you're on Leigh Brown's team and it spells it L-E-E, that's jeans, and that's how boys spell it, and I'm a girl. And so we're going to hold it down, okay? When you mash it, look, this stupid thing still thinks I'm L-E-E. So I'm going to put my finger on the L-E-E, backspace, and make it I-G-H, done. And that's how you can edit those captions. Shazam. It's so easy. I know, Charlie, you just gave me a good example. You can also move the words, like drag it around down here or here, wherever you want it to go. Don't cover up all of this, but you can cover up your bay window if it's showing. I'm just going to point that out. And then you would click next, and then you would type your things in, right? So that's on Instagram. On Facebook, I think y'all figured it out. But when you go to your Facebook page, up here, what's on your mind, where Facebook is trying to tease you into information, you mash that button, and then you mash down here this little green thing that says photo/video, and select your video. And then Facebook can add captions too. So that's just some really basics, right? And so TikTok's even easier. LinkedIn, not everybody has video on LinkedIn. Pinterest is very similar. So hopefully that helps a little bit. And all I can tell y'all is that practice is your dream, right? So let's see, what is Sharon saying here? Is that how you get to put the words you are saying? Yes, captions are the words you are saying. And Jessica, this is my bay window right here. Look, my kids call it my mom badge, but I call it my bay window because that's what my grandmother did. And if you ever needed proof that my grandfather was a custom home builder, it's the fact that my grandmother called this her bay window. All right. So, Christine, I also don't know how to edit them on Facebook. And I will say that there's a program I use for all of my videos if I'm not using the built-in tools, and it's called Zubtitle, ZUB title. And Michelle is probably stalking this feed. She can drop a coupon code in here for you that we squeezed out of them. Costs you a couple of bucks, and then you can actually change how the font looks and move it around. So if you watch any of my other videos on YouTube, you'll see that that's how we get the words in there, and it's how you can edit the spelling. And if you're like me and basically you're talking in one giant long run-on sentence, you can edit your grammar. Just saying. All right. So hopefully that helps a little bit. This is your friend. Again, I am so proud of you. And Danielle, you can't edit the captions after it's posted. And that's something we've learned the hard way. You can edit the captions in the post part, but you can't edit the captions on the screen, if that makes sense. Lori Ann, great question. Your reels for Instagram, you can change your time frames, right? So it's got 15s, 30s, 60s, and 90s now. They just added 90s. I love y'all. Don't talk that much, okay? The people that are watching your stuff, they're gone after about 45 seconds, unless you're saying something riveting. Just because Instagram gives you more time, don't take it. All right. That's what I say with love. Some of y'all are rambly like me, so I have to be funny. That's my get out of jail free card. So I'll go back over here to my Instagram, to my plus, to my reels. See these things on the side? You might never have matched them before. One of them says length. Mine is defaulted to 30, but see, there's a 15, 30, 60, and 90. And it's just going to time you out as you go. So you can make sure you change that. You can change the speed. Don't speed up, because people don't listen as fast as you talk, I can promise. You could put music in the background, but not really on a market in a minute, because you want to at least pretend to be professional. And then you can add all kinds of things. And so those are the tippy top things. Janet says, I admit I really didn't like doing it, right? So this is the thing about making video. After you've done it 3 times, you will have developed the muscle. I mean, it's so much faster than going to the gym on January 1st, where you find out you have to go every day to lose any weight or gain any muscle. With your video strategy, after you've made 3, you're going to get a little bit numb to the sound of your voice and to the way that your face looks on video. And then you'll realize that after you've posted 3 of them, and nobody's yelling at you, cussing at you, saying ugly things, and in fact, you don't have a lot of views. Okay, so I should let you know that too. There is a tendency in today's world to think that more is better. More is not necessarily better. So I want you to know that about being fearless with video. If you post something and you are as cute as a button, and you were on it, and your background looked as good as Sonia Kelly's, and go look up Sonia Kelly, because she had like the perfectly perfect background. I'll just give her that shout. And her words were perfect, and she looked great. She might only get 15 hits on it. That's okay, because here's the thing, y'all. If somebody watches your market in a minute, it's possible and probable that they're paying attention to real estate, okay? If you're making one and you're like me, you have chickens. If I only got 15 views on my chicken video, I would know something was wrong. And so think about this. You want the right people, not all the people. It's the same thing we talked about on day 1 with the outrageous authenticity piece. What matters more than the size is the quality. So when we look at the number of views and the number of comments, we call that vanity metrics, because it makes you feel good. And for those of you that are nerds, every time you get a notification or a comment, it fires up the dopamine centers in your brain. And I'm going to say this right out loud because we're grown-ups in the room. It's the same centers that fire up when you have an orgasm. That's why you're so addicted to the likes and the notifications. But I want you to be the grown-up in the room and turn that off. You don't need that all the time. I want you to think about the fact that if you don't have a ton of traffic, but people notice it, they're the right people noticing it, and consistency matters. So just get consistent with it. Early career, what distance to use. It actually doesn't matter. And so I use a whole zip code because that's how the public tends to think, Jessica. Although when I'm doing things like 10 acres, I will pull a mileage radius around the center of Charlotte, because if your clients are moving to Charlotte, they don't know all of my surrounding communities. And so then I talk in terms of radius. So it depends on the audience to whom you're trying to reach. And again, you could be looking at single family, you could be looking at townhouse condo, you could do commercial buildings, land, duplexes, anything that's a space. And if you're having a little bit of block, right? Look at the last listing call you got and look at the data around that one, and then make a market in a minute around that house. And think about this. All right, you with me on this? When you talk to a buyer suspect or a buyer or a seller suspect, they're probably looking you up on the socials to see what kind of realtor you are. If you're looking at listing a house like this one I put on the market yesterday in 28269, he saw me post a market update. And if y'all are watching my market in a minute, you know that last week I did 28269. He texted me and he said, "Oh my gosh, that's my area." Because people really feel proud when you are completely dialed in to their area of town. If you try to be all things to all people, you will not please a soul. Now, we do serve the greater Charlotte area. My team lives all over this market. And so our strategy is definitely pocket by pocket, but we want to make sure that when we're talking about a pocket that we know it. Okay. So whoever said I should have done something today, you can do it tomorrow or today or whatever, so just do what you ever want to do. Do hashtags matter? On Instagram, yes. On Facebook, no. And the rule of thumb on Instagram has been 7 to 10 hashtags is your optimal number. You see people using 30. That's pointless, right? And so think about your own activity. Do you search by hashtag? I only search by hashtag if I'm looking to see what to post. And so I don't know that it's as effective a strategy as we might think, but that is where Instagram will pick you up as a reel and move you along on their search page. I should also tell you that Michelle called it this morning. We subscribe to a newsletter through this company at Social Media Marketing World, and they drop the best information. The email today said that Facebook is doing a major shift in strategy to favor video. And you know what? I knew this was happening because when you log into Facebook, your feed here has stories and reels. Have y'all noticed that when you log in on mobile, your feed is defaulting to reels instead of stories on Facebook? That's intentional. So I want you to think about that as far as why you need to get the muscle built and start pushing this out there. Let's see, Christine, do I do a different area zip code each week? Mostly I do, just because I want to make sure that I'm responding to the needs of my agents on my team, that I'm hitting what their prospects and suspects are looking for. But then if they're not giving me an area, I'm going to go to Concord where my office is, or I'm going to go to land, which I enjoy representing, or Harrisburg, where I personally have a house. And so I'm going to default to the most commonly visited areas, but this depends on your strategy, right? So you got to think carefully about who you're serving and where you're serving. Could you do the same zip week over week? Absolutely. If I were not a team in a large metro market, I would probably just stay super duper focused on one zip code. So my strategy might be different than yours. And guess what? With 1.6 million realtors in the country, in every zip code and every price point, there's something for everyone. And so say you're on here with a colleague that you love, y'all could both be doing this strategy and just do it in two different ways. And then it's going to be seen by different people, right? So cool. So anyway, high fives, double high. Who's got family in Harrisburg? And why does this thing keep saying Facebook user instead of name? So I'm probably kin to them. Listen, I've been over there a long time. My aunt was the mayor back in the 80s, just so you know. All right. If you did not tag me, then tag me as you're doing stuff. And I don't know why Instagram didn't alert me to all of them. So I was trying to find all of you and say, hey, and give you some props and high fives. And so Michelle's helping me with that too. So if you haven't sent Michelle some love, send her some love, because she's amazing. All right. So for day 3, you remember on day 1, we talked about your authenticity necessity, that how you've got to get over these beliefs that you're not good enough, you're not ready enough. And some of the things you guys have already said, right? That you don't like doing video because you don't like the package. Love the package because it's what you have. and it's not changing anytime soon. So you may as well love it, right? Hey, just enjoy it and roll on. And also, I wanted you to understand why you got to do this. And it was all driven home with that email today saying that's where Facebook strategy is going to massively shift. So if you're the person who likes to share your little inspirational quotes, you might want to change your plan and do this. Take your favorite. Well, my quote's up on the wall. I would show y'all with my camera, but that would make some of y'all seasick. It's by Winston Churchill. I could make a video right now. Look, this is how easy it is. I got my camera. I'm going to put it in selfie mode. Hey, girl, what's up? I am an optimist. It does not seem to be much use being anything else. Winston Churchill. 7 seconds. That's a video. That's what you're going to have to do to understand the opportunity. Take the quote, make it yours, acknowledge the source, and post. It's what you're already doing, but with video. Hey. And when it's 7 seconds long, you can drop that mess into your stories. You can make it a reel. You can make it a regular post. People will see it in different places. So be thoughtful, right? And anytime you get something that's resonating with you, y'all drop me a fire over here in the comments. And Tammy, you did not have to be live, sugar. No, I don't actually do Market in a Minute live because I need to plan my writing for it and make sure my zip codes are correct. So yesterday we talked about this framework of getting that video posted. We did Market in a Minute. And so for everybody that did it, I am proud of you. For everybody that has chickened out and not posted it yet, go get it done. Mine always post on Thursday mornings. So think about your business and when you'll be able to cut it, prepare it, and post it. So I told y'all yesterday, I post these on Thursday morning. I make them on Monday so I can make sure they're prepared and the data is still relatively fresh. Now, how much video and how often you post it depends on the platform, because yesterday we talked about some of the different platform and we talked about picking your favorite. So you had permission to land on one. So make sure that you landed on one. And I gave y'all my Market in a Minute framework. And frankly, I'm just going to tell y'all as a mama hen, if I gave it to you and you did not use it, you cannot expect this idea to work for you. All right? You cannot sit back and say, well, Leigh Brown, that did not help me at all. I did 3 hours of free training with you and it didn't work. Well, if you didn't post a video and you're not trying anything, don't you come over here fussing. All right. And then today we're going to talk about taking these videos and leveraging them up to make sure you're getting more leads, listings, and referrals. Hashtag building your business, right? Okay. So the recap from yesterday was the challenge for Market in a Minute and making sure that we're always thinking in terms of in the world, what we call a CTA. Every salesperson who ever lived should be thinking always in terms of a CTA. You know what that is, right? Call to action. You're telling the public what they're supposed to do next. It's one of the biggest mistakes that realtors make and salespeople make in general. They never close the deal. They're so good at the charisma, the relationship building, people like you, and then you never close. Now, I am not suggesting that you be sleazy and that you be like Glengarry Glen Ross. Y'all remember that movie? Or Wall Street, and always be closing. You should always be thinking about how you can help somebody come to their decision-making point. That's what closing is. It is not you pushing, pulling, prodding. It is about you making sure that you've made it available for them to say yes. It's the same thing as showing houses. And I learned this a long time ago from my dad. And if you don't know this, my dad got his real estate license in 1978. And so I then, of course, at that age, I was dragged along to open houses and doing marketing and everything else. And what my dad drilled into my head is that when you are letting people work with you as a realtor, you're helping them say yes, and you're not making them say yes. So when I go on a buyer consultation, and I haven't been on a lot of buyer consults in the last few years because I have agents that handle it, and golly gee willikers, I wish they watched all the training that I do, but the closer you are to somebody, the less likely you are to listen. So I'm glad y'all tuned in from all over the place. But one of the first things my dad taught me to ask in the consultation was, when I show you a house, do I have your permission to ask if you want to buy it? And they always say yes. And then you go in a house and it's a dog. I mean, a dog. And you said, y'all want to buy it? And they're like, are you for real? You're like, I told you I'd ask. So you fulfilled a promise instead of being pushy. Then you go to the next house and it's a medium dog. And you're like, y'all want to buy it? And they're like, eh. And you're like, then don't buy it. You're too meh. Then you go to the third house and their eyes are sparkling like fireworks on July 4th. And you know, because as realtors, we always know, when they're in the right house because they're over there just beside themselves. And I would watch people and they're watching me, watch people. And finally they'd say, are you going to ask us? Are you going to ask us? Oh, do y'all want to buy it? Yes, we want this house. All right, cool. Let's go write it up. If you set the stage correctly, people are okay being asked. The reason they don't like pushy salespeople is you did not take them on a date first. Look, we should not be trying to go to home plate without first buying somebody a cocktail. All right, I'm just going to lay that out there. Okay, so on my videos, you notice that I've always got that word of yes, you can buy. Yes, you can sell. Yes, I can help. Yes, my team and I can help. That's what you're telling people. It's possible. If you want to do it, I got you. That's where this matters, okay? So every video is going to have a tied little bow on the end. And if you just make a video and say, this is your market in a minute for 28025 where I am, and we have this many houses on the market and this many, and I'll see you next week. You did not tell the viewer what's possible. That's what closing is. It's telling people what's possible. It's, do you want to buy this? And then if they say no, you're like, okay. And if they say yes, you say, okay. It's not about pressure. It's just about asking. Y'all with me on that? That's how critically important this is. And when I'm coaching agents, I will tell you, I look at some of the marketing and I do not see calls to action. I don't see anything that says, call me, email me, visit me, I will help you. It's just a bunch of stiff. Look at just sold cards. I just sold it. All right. What's the call to action? You got to say, if you'd like me to chat with you, call me. That's a call to action. All right. So I want you now actually to audit what you're putting out there. Audit it on your videos, on your static post, on your website. Are you letting people know that, yes, you can help? So these are some of the ones that we pulled up. And I just want to point out a couple of things. High fives. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look at all these people that made video, whether they wanted to or not, and posted it to the internet, whether they wanted to or not. Now, I want to show you a little secret, all right? The lady in the middle, do you see her face? She's kind of looking up, and I can make that face because I make it a lot around my teenagers. You would never edit that because when our faces don't look perfect, the public is so much more likely to know that you're trustworthy. By the way, for those of y'all that the Facebook Live was wonky, don't stress out. It's all recorded so you can scooch back to the beginning and watch this again with a glass of wine in your hand later on. I will not judge. I will celebrate you. And so if you have a temptation to go in and fix your face, don't, because you want people to watch your video and to click on it. And frankly, it just makes you that more lovable. Now, my one over here on the right in Mandarin, she's got the cutest voice ever, cute hair, had the cutest shirt on. If I remember correctly, you're in Jacksonville. So I commented, what a cute shirt. Do you know who replied? The shirt company. All right. Now I want you to notice this. If you're wearing something cute, now this came from Marshall's. Marshall's is not going to retweet me. They're too big. Okay. But if you bought something from a little boutique down the street and you're wearing it and it looks good and you're making your market in a minute, do you tag that company? And everybody says, yes, Leigh Brown, we tag that company. And in those posts, you have the opportunity at the end where you're writing up all your little hashtags and stuff to tag people. Tag any of those companies in your background. They love the love. And now Tammy brought them into her real estate post. And when I said I liked her shirt, who commented? The t-shirt company. When you comment on something and somebody else comments that has an account, it drives up your visibility. Okay? That's smart, smart, smart. I would say, though, you always want to have a little bit better lighting. And so it doesn't have to be hard. Just get you a little ring light. That's why mine looks like I have a tan when I really need to be tanning more. I'm a nicer person when I'm tan. So make yourself get a little bit of light. And actually for that particular one, and I know she knows I'm going to say this with love, all you have to do is turn around. So if you ever watch me take selfies with realtors at an event, I'm the one over here spinning like a top looking for the best light. because it just makes us look, like, oh no, my watch band is off of Etsy. It's some knockoff of something. So shh, don't tell. All right. No, a call to action is not a used car salesman, Sharon. Change your mindset, right? Because you told yourself that if you tell people you can help them, that you're sleazy, and you are not sleazy. I saw your little value prop. You are an S, which is a nurturer, and a C, which is detailed. For you, a call to action is exactly what I said before. Ask permission. Do I have your permission to ask you if you want to buy it? If they say no, they ain't buying a house or kicking tires. If they say, well, of course you have my permission, then when you ask, you are not being salesy. You are fulfilling a promise, okay? I need you to go back and watch the last 10 minutes again and push past that mindset, because you probably got burned by some sleazeball in the past. But Sharon, you are not a sleazeball. Nobody up in here is a sleazeball, because you wouldn't be here trying to get better. Look at Missy bought a ring light yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. And they make little portable ones too that can go on your phone. That's where I learned about them, was from Marty. Oh my gosh, my name just went black. Marky Lemons Royale. I don't know why I forgot Marky's name all of a sudden. Marky showed me this little one that clips on the phone, so I have a ring light wherever I go. But if you've ever seen me out and about, you know I never have it because I forget to charge it. So just spoiler alert, I have to buy the ones that plug into my computer. Okay, so that's that little group on that. And here's another one. Look at Charlie. That's from my team. He's the one I told y'all should have edited how my name is spelled, but I won't judge him too harshly here. And how freaking cute is Angela? All right, so we have the awkward faces. We have the super excited faces. Anytime somebody sees your energy, it draws in people with energy. And so you may have to fake it, okay? I fake it a lot of days. There are days when I do not want to go near a computer or a phone or a human. I get very peopled out. I'm an organic introvert, and I get peopled out really easily. But what you know is that the information you're putting out there is helpful to someone, and that's how you persevere. And so if you have to stand up and do 5 jumping jacks before you make a video, then do that so that you can bring some energy to the public, because they crave it. Most realtors, if they're using energy, they're doing things that are goofy. I don't want y'all to be goofy. I want you to be putting some straight facts out there to help the public, but I don't want you to look like you're on your way to a funeral. You got to hit that balance, and you get there with practice, okay? It's just practice. Now, if you want to get better at speaking, and this is a big challenge for many of y'all who sent me private messages, I'm not good at speaking. I'm not good at articulating. This is my jam. Angela, you almost deleted that. Are you serious? It's so freaking cute. Stop that. No, y'all all agree with me too, right? She should leave up her little high energy self. All right. This book is by Charles Swindoll. You might have heard of him as Chuck Swindoll. He's a well-known pastor in Texas, and it's the best public speaking book I have ever read, and it's called Saying It Well. Go find it. It's probably out of print from time to time because it's been around forever. It will remind you of the gift that public speaking can be. This is not a book that's going to make you become some Tony Robbins, big white teeth kind of person. It's to consider that there's a good way to convey a message. And oh my golly gosh, y'all, it's so good. And I will tell you a story because I saw that Mark from Lubbock is on here. He'll appreciate this. So when I sold chainsaws in one of my locations, I lived outside of Dallas and Grapevine. And so while I lived there, I was like, man, there's all these good pastors here. So one Sunday I went to see Tony Evans, and another Sunday I'd go see another famous pastor. And I was all excited to see Chuck Swindoll. And my girlfriend, Michelle, not this Michelle, but a different one, had flown in to see me. And we were so psyched. We were like, we're going to go see Chuck Swindoll. And yes, I'm that big a nerd. I go see preachers. Don't judge me. Well, you can judge me if you want to. It's a good thing to be judged for. So we were all excited, got all dressed up to go to Chuck Swindoll's book, okay? Or his church. And so we get there for early service, and we're just like, we're going to get to hear the best pastor ever. And in came the associate pastor. And we were like, okay, maybe he's doing the announcements. And he came up to the lectern and he said, I know y'all are here to hear Pastor Swindoll, but I just want to remind you that when you're hungry, a hot dog is just as good as a filet mignon. Think about that for a second. I've never forgotten those words because he was right. I wasn't coming for Pastor Swindoll. I was coming to get the word. And when you're thinking about this, when it comes to video, a lot of y'all are going to have that thing they call imposter syndrome of, My words aren't good enough. I'm not the one they came to see. There's somebody better than me. There's no reason for me to open my mouth. This book is going to help you move past that because somebody out there is waiting for your voice, your face, your energy, your brains, your compassion, your skills. And when they see you, they're going to say, that's my person. That's my realtor. And they won't necessarily get that in an email or a text or on a phone call. They're looking for you. And I talked about this on day one. We have so many realtors out there in the American public. They are everywhere. And so you think there's not enough space for you to make something? But y'all, your people freaking love you. They think you're the best thing ever. They're waiting on this. They've been waiting on you to make video the whole time. They might watch mine, but I'm not their person. I'm a realtor out there somewhere, but you're Carolyn. And let's see who, somebody found it. Oh, there's some on eBay. There you go. Get the discount version. Look, you know, I shop at Marshall's. I highly recommend that. And there's Crystal and there's Danielle and Lori Ann. They're waiting for you. I can't stress that enough. You have to stop thinking about video as being about you and how video is about the viewer. It is about what the person on the other end needs. I've said that the whole time we've been doing this 3 days. This is not to feed your narcissistic attitude. This is so that you can break through and reach somebody who desperately needs you. And I got to tell you, in the public, without a realtor, a lot of people would never get there. They'd never get to the place of home ownership because people give up on other people. Realtors don't give up. No, we say to somebody, oh, that's all right. I got you, friend. I got you. That's what we do. And if you let people know that you're that person, if you use video to say, I got you, friend, they will feel like it's okay to come to you. And that it's okay to say to you, I've got to fix my finances. I'm coming out of a divorce. My credit score is bad. I don't know how to save for a down payment. That you're the person that says, I got you, friend. And that you will help them figure out a way. Video is the key to this. I cannot stress it enough. And look, Lori Ann's over here up since 3:30 making a list of video ideas. See, it's totally doable because you guys already have it. You already have everything you need up here and in here. Put the two together. You knock the cover off the ball. Okay, so now let's talk about the hard part. You're going to have to be a better authority on your market. So I want you to do better research, okay? What that means is, you know, some stuff from the MLS. Start thinking about the other resources that can show people that you are multifaceted, that when you come to their house to interview about listing it, that you're going to do more than other people have done. That's a wonderful differentiator that you did extra research, right? High five to my professional realtors who want to be something more. So on this, I'm going to give you a couple of resources. Your FHFA.gov, that is the Federal Housing and Finance Authority. There are some things on there, some housing price indicators and indices. It's a little bit wonky, but you can grab enough to make a little video. You can go to Realty Track. If you weren't around during the last recession, you might not know. That is a website that tracks what I call the soft underbelly of real estate, which is foreclosures, short sales, pre-foreclosures, auction sales, all of that stuff that's getting worked out under the edges of the market. RealtyTrack.com tracks it, okay? NAR's got RPR. I hope you're all using the Realtor's Property Resource. It's included in your dues. They did a really great refresh on the interface about a year ago, and it's so user-friendly now. So much information in there. So remember too, RPR is fed by the U.S. Census data, which is fresh right now. In 10 years, it's going to suck because you have to go through it again. But in the meantime, the information in there, you can put out into the public. And remember, this doesn't violate fair housing because it's public data, as long as you're not, saying stupid things. But you can say, hey, in my zip code, we have 58% of people have a college degree. All right, the rest of y'all, you want to do community college, you want to work a trade, I got a hookup for you. There's so much great information to help you feed the content list. Oh, look, Fran, your grandson approved. High five. You made a 12-year-old proud. You win today. And then y'all know I love altosresearch.com. That's a great research website, good shareable stuff. Partnering with an expert. I think I mentioned this on day one where I showed you Joseph Baker from Guild Mortgage and how I sucked him into a live video. This is where you become a real authority on video. This supercharges your business. So just as I noticed before that Tammy's t-shirt company liked my comment about her cute shirt, if you do a video with your favorite lender or your favorite home inspector, and actually Charlie Holt over here has been doing a great job partnering with one of our home inspectors. They have a ton of realtors that they love in the market. You don't have to be the only one. Okay. So let go of that need for loyalty and fealty. Just know that you want to be on the list of trusted good people. I'm cool with being one of many. In fact, I wish I were one of all, but we're not there yet. So we keep working on it. And so when you partner with somebody and you do a video, you tag them into it. You can do videos together. You can start really leaning into the fact that when you do a video with your inspector, your audience sees it and their audience sees it. It's the fastest way to grow out because their public wants to hear from them and then says, well, who's this realtor over here? She seems likable. He seems like a smart one. And so you start thinking about where you've got good opportunities to grow your audience. Again, not just with randos, but with people who have an interest in the topic about which you're speaking. Now, Christine makes a great point here. When you do those videos, they are longer. There's some things you should think about here as far as leverage. So YouTube likes longer videos. It would live on YouTube in all its 10-minute glory. But you could hire some person on Fiverr or from your local college who has a marketing department or a social media department. They'll slice and dice that 10 minutes. You've probably got 15 little 1 minute or less snippets of things that you said that could go on other platforms. So don't overlook the fact that sometimes your big content could be a source of a lot of smaller content. And I love that, Missy, to think about the real estate center at a local college. You're at Texas A&M. There's so many good ways to get interns right now. And y'all, young people need internships to put on their LinkedIn. So why not call your college, whether it's a tiny private college or a Christian school or a community college or a giant state university? Call any of them and say, I'm looking for the social media professor. I need a couple of interns or want somebody to work on a project. So much opportunity there. And I want you to go back and remember this. We talked about this on day 1 where we were working on our value worksheets. We talked about it on day 2. I position myself as a professional problem solver. And in my MLS automated signature, that's what it says, is your professional problem solver. I'm not telling people I've got all the answers. I'm just telling them I'm going to help them figure it out. And that's what I do. And so you start thinking about how the messaging has to all tie back in together. And it all has the same goal, which is providing positive impact on the American dream and on home ownership in your community. So I will show you a couple more ideas here because, of course, content is king, and it's one of the challenges that each one of us has. The big questions you get asked are one of your best sources of content. And keep a list going, right? So I asked my team. They had a little bit of a hard time with it at first because they weren't thinking in this way, right? Because we have to think a little differently sometimes. If somebody asks you a question at the grocery store, on the interwebs or anywhere, you're going, all right, write it down. Keep yourself a little list going. That's your content list. And so what you see here is a comment that I've been getting over and over, which is, how much can I sell my home for in today's market? This is the kind of content people are looking for. And so the question actually shows up on the thumbnail to draw the viewer in. I'll tell y'all one secret of YouTube is that their algorithm feeds off of facial recognition. So your face needs to be in your thumbnail. And then we had one over here. We talked about living in place. And I had my agent, Virginia Halter, with me because she has her parents living with her. So she knows all about modifying your house for living in place. So you start thinking about how many people in and around you are asking things or you're helping them with. Every single question becomes a video idea. And I want you to remember that because we get in our own way all the time. This was another example. We interviewed one of our other home inspectors, Patrick Waddell, because like many of you, we have 3 and 4 people in every category. And if you're going to offer the opportunity to one, offer it to all. Just some might say no, but it's a way to be that person who is able to say, I've got several trusted people so the consumer can pick. Because I don't have to tell y'all, do I, that you can be violating a lot of regulatory affairs if you're not giving multiple options. So I'm just going to remind you of that. All right, so video can also be the best follow-up tool you have. And when I say follow-up, I mean the video that says, hey, thank you for reaching out. I'm Leigh Brown. Hey, what's up? I'll be sending you an email so they see your face, hear your voice, and see your eyes. Your competitors follow up with an email. And it says, thank you for visiting my website. I'd love to help you with your home search needs. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you if you are replying with a bot or with something boring? You have got to be thinking about how your response has to say, this is me and I want to meet you. So I started doing this. Let's see, Cora was 7 and she's about to turn 18. So 10 years ago. And the reason I started replying with video is very simple. I was geographic farming a neighborhood at that time, and I wanted in because the builder was done. And y'all know that just a year or two after the builder finishes, a neighborhood starts to turn organically. And I had been hammering it 6 months, doing all the things I needed to do, ready to crack that neighborhood. Well, that was also the year I was the head coach of Cora's softball team. So I had the 7 and 8 year olds. The reason I chose to head coach is very simple. It is because this thing has to live in my pocketbook if I'm coaching the ball team. 7 and 8 year olds, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. One's got to pee, one doesn't have her cleats on, one needed her ADD meds, and one was late, one's over here. I mean, it's wild. They are everywhere except where they need to be. So if you're going to be in charge, you have to make sure your eyes are on them. I'll just point out to you, I know this is a video class, but as realtors, we have to do a better job of paying attention to our children and our spouses and our loved ones, and a little less attention on our transactions. All right, I'm just going to point that out. So anyway, we were in this wild space and my phone dinged, and like a good realtor, I did glance at it and I said, finally got a response out of that neighborhood. It's the house I wanted. Oh, it's the good one. It's the good one. She does a good house in every neighborhood. And I couldn't call them because it was loud and dusty. I couldn't email them because the email I would have looked like a moron because I couldn't have gotten anything thoughtful out. This is 10 years ago, so text was not everybody's go-to. So I did what I consider to be the last resort, and I held up that phone. It was like an iPhone 3. And I said, hey, I'm Leigh Brown. You can see him at the ball field surrounded by little people. And I want to talk to you about your house. I love your house. I love your neighborhood. I'll follow up with you tomorrow. And I put my phone in my pocketbook and I coached the game. And we lost. Hey, big surprise. And then I gave them ice cream and they were fine. And then we went on about our Saturday. Sunday came, and I told y'all before, Sundays for me are worship and family. And so I went on to church. And then Monday came, and Monday in real estate is the day that you put out fires. And I woke up in the middle of Monday night, and it's that feeling of, I said I was going to call them. I didn't call them. Oh my gosh, they must hate me. They think I'm terrible. I lost it. I lost that listing, and I've been working so hard. You know the feeling, right? The self-flagellation of I'm an idiot. I screwed up so big. Tuesday, they called me and said, when can you come list our house? And I said, I'll come right now if you want me to. I was just so glad they called. Made the appointment, went to their house the following Thursday. And when we sat down, we went through all the stuff. And then I asked the question that we always should be asking, which is, why did you pick me? Because they weren't interviewing anybody else. When they first reached out, the email had said, we're interviewing. And when it came down to it, it was just me. And they said, well, you got back to us right away. All right. So video allows for speed of communication. Got it. And they said, and we love that you were at the ball field with your kids, and we knew you were busy and we didn't want to bother you. So that's why we wanted you. Because as it turns out, this had the house they had been in for several years. Kids were out and gone, and they were ready to downsize. And they wanted somebody that they connected with. You can have any realtor you want. Most of them are super easy. They'll cut their commission and do whatever you tell them to do. But this person wanted a human that they could identify with. And that was my light bulb moment. That was why I started replying with video. And it's why if there's anything that I have done that has changed my conversion rate and supercharged my business, it's replying with video. Now, Tammy, it's sometimes by text, and I also copy it on email because not everybody opens up videos on text. Nowadays, they mostly do, but some don't. So I send it to both if I have both, just to see what they're going to click on. If it's older people, it bounces back and says this is a landline. And then I know that video is not the answer, right? So I just call them one extra time. And it is a game changer. And frankly, I wish my team would do it. But, I'm a prophet 50 miles away from home. So if you're 50 miles away from me, you're probably going to try this. And yes, QuickPage is a competitor to BombBomb. I like them. They have a better shareability quality to it. I like how the interface looks, and it's less expensive than BombBomb. I used them for several years. Nothing wrong with it. This is just an alternative, and Michelle's going to give you a discount code for this, and so we like the features. And for the record, if you follow all my channels, you might think you see all my content. Spoiler alert, there are some videos that I make that I send to my email list that you don't get to see on the socials, right? Because sometimes you got to save a little something back. So I want you to think too about video when we're talking content. It's not just about getting the listing, reaching out to the buyer. It's sometimes about what do you say to your past clients, because we run out of things to say and then we drop them. And then 5 years later, the NAR data show us every single time 16% are using the same realtor that sold them the house. The rest of them forgot you, or the realtor went out of business. And so the idea of keeping in touch with people has to have something methodical about it. So one of the things that I do every year, Tammy, I'm going to stop. No videos while you're moving. Stop the car. I will tell you, I learned this the hard way. I had somebody walk up to me and tell me they did not use me because they did not think I was safe because the car was moving. So now I make videos in the car, and you can tell I'm sitting still in a parking lot at a long stoplight if you are ready to roll when it turns red, and you can safely do it, although I still won't recommend it while you're in motion. If I'm the passenger, I still don't make it while we're driving because you're going to hit a bump and it's going to jump on you. So no more driving videos, only stopped. I will tell you that cost me probably $12,000. I ain't making a moving video again. Okay, so yes, there's a discount code coming there, Facebook user. Michelle's dropping it in. There's your free trial link. Thank you, Michelle. So anyway, back to your past client ideas. In my county, in Cabarrus County, North Carolina, our letters from the county with the property tax valuation come out around the end of July, first part of August. It's the letter nobody wants to get, where the county decides what they think your house is worth, even though they've never been in it. Because of the run-up we've had in the market, y'all, there are people that are going to throw up when they get that letter. They're not prepared for it. They're probably not budgetarily prepared for it because it's going to change everything for them. So here's the video I make, and if you watch my channels, you'll see this thing roll out here in another couple of weeks. I hold up my tax letter because I want the public to know that I am a homeowner too. I am not just a realtor. I also stroke checks that I don't like stroking. And the video says, if you just got your tax letter and threw up a little bit like I did, and you want to discuss it and you want to contest it, let me know and I will help. It's very simple video, very short. And if somebody wants to contest it, they're going to have data from you as a realtor. They need that MLS information. And what does it take you to pull the comps, y'all? 5-10 minutes? It doesn't cost you all that much time. It's just a matter of letting people know that you're willing to help. That's what this is all about. It's so much different than sending a very well-written email that nobody will read, okay? So I've told y'all, I have been sharing everything I've done, all right? And so for the last 3 days, I have given y'all a ton. And hopefully you wrote it down, saved it. Actually, you're in the group now, so you can go back and watch the videos again if you forget. And this has allowed me to grow my business. It's allowed my business to be stable in different market conditions. It is just what has worked. And I've learned it along the way, and I've taught myself lessons, and I've made mistakes and learned from other people. So one of the things that I know is helpful is when you don't have to recreate the wheel, when you can, instead of going up like this, you can go like a rocket ship, right? So I want to be able to help you. And now is the part that I hate to do because I don't like selling, and I'm really sucky at this. But obviously, I can't work for free all the time as much as I'd love to. I would love to coach y'all for free forever, but I have a family to feed too. And so what I've given y'all over the last 3 days is real stuff. You want to go super deep and you want to get super information, That's why I've built the Video Masterclass. It's a 6-week digital course. No, you don't have to be a realtor to do this. So you could have your favorite lender do this. You could share this with your home inspector, any small business. This is something that would work for them. There's custom worksheets built in. Those workbooks are part of the Video Masterclass. And there's 4 live coaching calls. And so there's a chance for us to hang out together so you can ask more questions and spend some time sharing, gathering, making each other better. So here's what that class has in it. So week 1, we're going to go deeper into outrageous authenticity. We're going to talk about the confidence that you need in you to come across as the expert and how to leverage your story. So y'all know I sold chainsaws. How has that built my business? I worked on Wall Street. How has that built my business? I will help you with your story because I find that a lot of people have pushed back so far on what they know. They're not letting their little light shine. So I'm going to help you with that. And then in week 2, we're going to go deep into foundational tools, the actual equipment that I use. There's different budget levels because I am super cheap, but I have splurged on a few items. We'll talk about the different algorithms, the different platforms. And we'll basically be talking about why starting is, really important, right? I don't know why this thing says slide 18. I'll make this go off the screen. Is it on your screen too? I don't know why it's doing that. So anyway, week 3, we're going to do more social media strategies and we're going to dig into the platform and getting started, right? And we're going to stay up to speed. I'll share with you what I'm using for research so you know where my information's coming from because y'all know I don't keep secrets. I put it all out there. And that's what this is about, is putting as much out as I can. And then I want you to think about standing out from the competition and how do you brand yourself so that your phone will ring, so that you will have ongoing business. Because in real estate, we know one of the challenges is this up and down that we go through. When you learn how to leverage your video, it will smooth out that curve a lot. And we'll give you some more scripts so you can create some content and what to avoid. You know, there's some things you have to avoid. Week 5, we're going to talk about content. And this is probably the biggest week I have as far as the things that will be something you can talk about. So you can build out a content map. Ideally, you build out a year's worth so that you have your ideas crushed out and how you can use that video to close the sale. And week 6 is more about thinking about the process. So how do you help your clients right now? How do you become that realtor providing excellent service, again, to protect and preserve your business, and also how you can be a better broker and do better training through video. And the key is just teaching people to watch it, which they won't, but I'm dreaming one day. And then the bonus is I'm going to help you with some analytics. We'll talk about best times to post, tools and resources. Stuff, right? The things that I've spent a lot of time on this. Michelle has spent a lot of time on this. We don't want you to spend all the time on it when you can just walk up in here. We'll give you all the tools. So the way that works, and it is a $2,500 value between the class and the workbooks and the coaching calls. And those of y'all that have coached with me, hey, I love you. I charge $500 an hour for coaching. And so that would normally be $1,000, well, $2,000 worth of just coaching, but you get to ask the questions. We'll have a lot of live Q&A like we've done here in the group for the last 3 days. So really, if you add the whole thing up, it's a $5,000 value. Do you know how much I hate this part here? But my coach told me I had to do this. And so we were going to charge $1,500 for it, but because the markets are changing and I can do what I want to, I decided to make it $1,250 so that if you join today, you're going to get access for $1,250. That's less than what it would cost you to do 3 coaching calls with me, and you get 4 calls, plus you're going to have 6 weeks of content that are recorded so you can watch it multiple times because you're realtors who forget things. Now, I do not have a lot of spots because those coaching calls, if they're huge, it won't be fun for anybody. So we're keeping it to a small group setting. So if you decide to join up, you will actually see the other faces. And we're going to do my favorite thing in real estate and build some little cohort groups because that builds your referral business. And frankly, if you got one referral out of this little family group, I'm pretty sure this would more than pay for itself. I'm just going to point that out. And then we're going to have the Get Fearless with Video Masterclass. And here we are. So there's bonus resources because there's always bonuses. And the one that you'll really, really enjoy is Own Your Style. I think that is probably the one that people respond to the most with. I didn't feel like I had something worth putting out there. So that's what Mama Hen here is for. I'm going to remind you of your awesomeness, and I will help dig it out of you. If you lost it, we will go find it. All right. And so here's how you enroll. You go to LeighBrownUniversity.com/getfearless, and we'll have a big time. This will be worth your time, and we'll have a good, oh, I'm supposed to put that back in the stream. Hang on a minute and put it back so you can see the link, LeighBrownUniversity.com/getfearless. So thank you for joining me for the last 3 days. I'm so proud of y'all for making those little videos. And my challenge to you is whenever you posted it, so whoever posted today, put on your calendar to make another one next Wednesday, and the Wednesday after that, and the Wednesday after that. If you did yours yesterday, make Tuesday your day. Just start getting yourself into that habit. And then if you want more of this, more of the camaraderie from the comment stream, more hanging out with me, frankly, you know you enjoy it, get signed up and it'll be a really good time. And then what may happen is if we fill up those slots, we will set another one probably in the fall or in the winter. So if you need to be on the list for later, then you can be on the list for later. If you need a payment plan, send a direct message, because friends, we'll figure out a way to work together. And I think that's it for my slide. Is that everything? I think it's everything Michelle gave me. So how many times a week do I do Market in a Minute? Once a week. It falls on Thursday mornings, because any more than that would be dreadful. All right. Thank you. I love you guys. And if this was helpful to you, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channels. Please make sure that you are leaving some comments and telling your association or brokerage to hire Leigh Brown to come in and speak so I can hug your neck. And if you need to be on the list for later, just drop me a direct message through the group or in private message, and we'll take care of you. So until next time, I'll see you guys. Mwah!